What's going on, Wolf Gang? We are back with another My Hero Academia Season 5 episode review. Of course, now we're talking about episode 2, and I still have to do 3. I already watched both episodes. I just have to record my review on 3. Now we're going to start off with 2. So after we picked up from Class 1A, All Hands on Deck, of course, if you watched the video, please go back and watch it. If not, yeah, same thing. Watch the video, leave a like, etc., etc. So the episode starts off with Dobby again, like it did on the last episode. And Dobby's going towards Endeavor and Hawks, and Dobby's already trying to hook. He shows off the flame, surrounds him in a blue flame. And of course, Endeavor reminds Dobby that you're the one that killed Snatch. And Dobby's just like, yeah, fam, I don't know who that is. Can you remind me who that is? So after that, Dobby then lunges towards Endeavor and Hawks. And of course, I can't say baby girl because it's Toga, but Bae, let's just say Bae. Mirko comes in and tries to fight Dobby, and of course Dobby vanishes. But before Dobby vanishes, he yells out, "Don't die, NG Todoroki." Of course, you know, mocking Endeavor, because that's how Endeavor was saying Shoto's name out loud. So that's pretty much what Dobby was doing. So this is when we start to get into the beef in the majority of the episode, whereas most likely we're going back to Hawks' past, and we see about how Hawks was a kid and what is Hawks' main mission and what he's actually trying to do. So we see Hawks and Dobby talking to each other, and of course the relationship doesn't seem very trustworthy with each other. Hawks is actually angry with Dobby because he sees that Dobby brought a new Nomu, a stronger Nomu, and that was not what he was expecting. And Dobby is actually unhappy that Hawks brought Endeavor, so it seems like there's a lot of miscommunication between the two. But with that being said, Dobby's actually suspicious, and Hawks is just like, calm down, fam. You know, I got you. Don't worry. I sympathize with you, and I want to help you guys. It's okay. But we all know that the truth behind Hawks' betrayal of heroes is to actually infiltrate the League of Villains. We see this in the flashback. We see that just because Hawks has a rapid ability, his keen sense, and he actually is definitely a hawk, quote unquote a hawk. He was actually chosen for this job, and they actually think that he'll be able to stand and ignore the damage that the villains are actually doing, because, you know, he's actually a good actor at doing that. So after we finish off with Dobby, we now see Hawks and Endeavor, who now has a scar, unlike Todoroki. They go to the train station. This was when Endeavor starts to question Hawks about, hey fam, do you think it's kind of coincidence that Nomu knew we were over there? And of course, Hawks being a good liar, he lies about it, but it's clear that he doesn't really like lying to him about it. So we pan over to another flashback as Hawks, as a child who saves a group of people. He actually has an Endeavor toy with him, which is actually adorable, because it's like, you're my favorite hero, but I gotta deceive you, fam. And just cause Hawks actually saved a group of people, those same student individuals that were mentioned earlier, they actually asked Hawks to go undercover, and for that they're going to support him and his family to help, you know, his transformation into a hero. So we pan over to the Todorokis. I'm calling them the Todorokis, the Shotos, the Todorokis, Anyway, so long story short, Endeavor comes in. Fuyumi's already has dinner set up. Hopefully, you know, the family can reunite. Natsu wasn't having that. Natsuyo, I'm gonna call him Natsuyo. Natsuyo wasn't having that. He starts blowing up at Endeavor, making it clear that, you know, he's not gonna forgive him for the abuse that he's done. And of course, he's not going to forgive him about the incident with, you know, Toya. But luckily, on the other hand, we have Todoroki. He tells him he's willing to give him a chance, because sometimes the smaller things can, you know, alter someone. So I understand what's going on with you. And we know that Endeavor really wants to do right by his family, but he won't be seeking forgiveness since, you know, the vision of his future has already brought everyone down so far. So it kind of seems like it's going to be hard to do that. And sadly, Todoroki really doesn't see that. He's not very enthusiastic about that. So now that we're actually done with the whole Dobby, Todoroki, Endeavor, we now get to the juicy part of what was going on with Deku. So we all remember Deku's in his bed and he starts to have a dream. But before that happens, you see the glass shatter. Deku's on his bed, and we try to figure out what happened before that. So Deku ends up having a dream, and what this dream is, he faces the past users of One for All, and they're all lined up except for these two figures that are kind of that. They don't say nothing, you can't really see him. It's just black. It's just a black figure with colors. Deku can't move or speak. He can't do anything. He can just watch what happens. And what we see All For One talking with his younger brother, who's also quirkless. And we see All For One mocking his brother, saying, because his brother's all about justice, and he demonstrates what he can do. So he brings these two people in, and he actually swaps the quirks. And the dude who was actually judged for being ugly, and his parents didn't like him. Yeah, All For One actually gives him a regular human face. So, and then the dude who was actually being beat up all the time actually now has that quirk, and it's, he's like, yeah, fam, now I helped them, so I'm playing God, and by doing this, I guarantee their loyalty. But they don't see it as that, though. But that's clearly what All For One's intuition is. After this, we see All For One mention how his followers blew up a building without him asking them to, and for that, All For One actually loved every moment of it. And then he ends up going on telling his younger brother that he's found a quirk even, quote unquote, you with your withered body can use, and he proceeds to force it upon him. We see the brother yelling stop. So after that, Deku tries to reach for him, and it just goes into a whole white fog. And then we see the younger brother walking towards Deku, and he says, Deku, you're the 9th user, and I actually want to show you more, but you're only at 20%, you're not ready. So he then ends up tells him, be careful, we're long past the singularity point, and that's when we see them try to reach for each other, and boom, that's when Deku wakes up. That's when he has his arm glowing, and then you see him panting, and then, because it's during the activation of his quirk. So by that, when we say the quirk of the singularity point, it's when the quirk becomes too powerful and it can't be controlled anymore, quote unquote. You guys know what happens in the manga, I'm not going to spoil it. But that's what that means, because it was mentioned in season 4. So for Deku's point, we actually know that Deku has to be careful, because he's long past him not being able to control the quirk, as you can see. But after that, that's when the episode ends, and then episode 3, we're going to start off with the Class 1A versus Class 1B. Definitely going to go back to reviewing that as well. So with gang, let's just give this video 50 likes. Still new to these reviews, but I'm going to do 1 through 25. Season 5 has 25 episodes, so god, that's a lot of reviews I'm about to do. Anyway, Wolfgang, love you guys. Let me know what you think of episode 2, and I will see you on episode 3.
Jose, yeah.